Yo, what up? Quick FRU clear video and commentary. It's been a while since I played White Mage, and I'm a White Mage main at heart still. So, did a quick FRU White Mage clear in PF. We're doing full NA PF strats on healer 1 to the west, of course, as PF standard. Region goes to the west. It's not a guide. I didn't really spend much time in this fight as White Mage, but it's good enough. I know a little bit. So, off the start, if you want to Asylum the start, you want to do it pretty early so it comes up for the first bleed wide. If you want to do Liliati, you can burn your lilies in downtime, which is recommended if you're looking to pump damage and you're confident in your healing abilities. Give a quick little region for the tanks during the spread because they're going to be taking some tank buster level damage, but it's kind of whatever. They'll live anyways, probably. Make sure to top the party right here. I like to sprint towards the center if I'm far away, just so I can get there earlier and start hard casting a Medica 3. And you can also burn your AoE lilies also. So you can burn your 3 lilies during this long downtime phase to start the next one with a blood lily. It's a DPS gain, and if you don't need your heal lilies, then might as well. For this part, I prep a Medica 3 right before the dude's dash, so the heal will catch the stack damage, and your GCD will be up for the uptime. I am doing the standard Frumit but good mid sheet, which has Relief Bell during the first bleed wide, which is probably a good idea because this bleed wide is actually pretty scary. You're probably going to want to Medica there. Medica 3, plus use Confession, and spread out your heal release as you see fit. And if you're not confident in your own heal output, or your co-healer, or your party to mit properly, then there's no shame in using extra Medica 3s or cures to keep the party alive, which is your #1 priority. You can also hold a size a little bit. Using it off the rip here won't gain you any damage, it won't gain you any uses, so you can delay a size a little bit for healing. You can also save one of your glare charges for the knockback, has a free instant cast button. And that's phase 1. So phase 2, not really a whole lot to do at the start here. But while nothing's happening, we can just talk about White Mage versus Astro. So Astro still does more damage in this fight than White Mage, which is kind of surprising because White Mage has downtime lilies. But regardless, White Mage is still perfectly fine. The biggest thing that hurts is not having CU, which is a 10% mitigation for your party on a 60-second cooldown. That move is so good. Not having that actually hurts a lot. It's still clearable without it, it's just everything's 10% more tighter. It's gonna rely on your teammates mitting properly, and you can't really rely on that in Party Finder, so you're going to have wipes where you die to damage if people miss something, and not having that extra CU buffer, it's gonna hurt. But regardless, it's technically not your fault if you wipe the damage as long as you press everything. You can mitigate not having CU a little bit by using double Benison and Aquaveil on the 3 squishy targets in your party, aka the 2 healers and the caster. In that regard, if you do that every 60 seconds where you normally use CU, then you're technically just as safe. If you have 4 squishies, well, pick your 3 favorite. But honestly, yeah, if you're that scared of not having your extra 10%, then use your Benison and Aquaveil as much as you can. So mirror before you spread, I use the Temperance plus the shield to help with the damage. You should use your glare charges, your glare 4 charges for movement, as well as your healies for movement as well, or for healing. It's perfectly fine to use all your healy charges since you're going to gain a few more during the light ramp and downtime, and you want to make sure people stay alive. I drop an Asylum for the DPS side since it's Sometimes your AoE heals will miss them if they're really far away, and if the mirror pattern is bad. You can also single target Mitt the melees in the DPS side, or the fake melees, since they're going to be the most at risk of dying during mirror. And in Light Rampant, I use Lilybell a little bit after the puddles stop baiting, and this will catch some of the raid wide spam here. You can also delay Lilybell a little bit, and it'll catch the follow-up raid wide. The downside is it will delay your next Lilybell in phase 3. It's up to you, it's really just a personal preference. But you also have a size and a couple of AoE lilies if you want to. You have flex AoE lilies here that you can use, so it's not the end of the world if your Lilybell doesn't catch like the final 2 raid wides.
I won't let you.
So in intermission here, your size can cleave 2 crystal lights. I don't think you can cleave 3. You can flex your glare 4s to help crystals of light that are a little high, or use it for movements. Doesn't really matter. White Mage unfortunately doesn't have as much AoE cleave as Astro does with its crazy star plus lords, but you don't really need it.
My power surges. Green, are you alright?
In phase 3, the major cooldowns is Temp and Lilybell during Ultimate Relativity, and then you just normal heal APOC.
I am Logrith, servant of Zodiac. I shall restore the power.
For the 1 HP mechanic, I recommend using Confession, since it's just pretty much a regen heal check.
Infinite possibilities condensed into a single moment.
Use Temperance on around the first stack. Temperance plus Caress. And then you Lilybell somewhere towards the end of Ultimate Relativity. Whenever it's up, really, if you use it where I did in Light Rampant. You also have Flex Lilies, use it for movement, use it for healing. Use it wherever you want. Having a dash is also pretty nice, not gonna lie. Take that, Astros. You may have more damage, you may have better utility for the party, but you don't have a cool dash. Honestly, if I delayed Lilybell there for 1 extra second, I think it would have been nicer because it would have caught the follow-up red white damage as well. Not a big deal. APOC, not really a whole lot to say. You have a Flex Asylum, you have a Sizes, and then you have Flex Lilies that you can use wherever you choose.
Oh, chaotic dark.
I Asylum on the first stack damage to help heal the DPS side, since most of your AoE heals aren't going to reach there. The Asylum will at least create a little bit of a buffer. I also recommend using a single target spot heal, like a Tetra, on whoever gets hit by the Spirit Taker, since they're going to be taking 1 extra hit of damage more than the rest of your party. Of course, AoE heals could catch it, but it's something to look out for.
Shadows fall.
I didn't save any lilies for this downtime, although it technically would have been a gain. But honestly, I didn't really care for it, since I needed to use it for healing anyways. And if I was going to Medica there, then I might as well just use a Lily instead, since it's still a net -1 GCD anyways, but that doesn't really matter. For phase 4, I saved my Assize until Gaia spawns, so it cleaves. Is that actually a gain? No one knows. But I temp the Darklit cast bar, and then I use the shield for the Protean here.
I told you it would make
I use Glare 4, my Glare charges for movement, and for cleave as well. It's quite nice.
Me? But I thought you should have it.
So I Benedict because home gang sucks as an invuln, and you don't want them to die to damage. Use your single targets on the tank that's taking the solo walk more. I didn't do it here because I'm bad, they didn't need it anyways. Ideally, you want to go into crystallized time with 3 lilies, since 1, you can downtime using them, and 2, healing is good. A lot of damage going out throughout this phase.
As I wish it, so shall the river of time flow.
I dropped my Lilybell here in the center, near the start of crystallized time. And then you pretty much just spam lilies whenever you need. Wow, I cut it a little close here looking back. Normally I wait, but I realized my Doom was in jeopardy of being stolen, so I made the executive choice to run across and get my cleanse before someone stole it. I recommend using Benison on both of your tanks, plus optional Aqua Veil, since a tank dying to damage here is a wipe, and that's really bad. Alternatively, you can save Benison and Aqua Veil for the solo tank here, although it's your choice. This stack was actually extremely sus. That's because our Black Mage was doing a little bit of tomfoolery. Use my Presence of Mind here, which is not a good thing. Either, I'm not really sure why, it could have been panic since the healing got scuffed when we lost our Black Mage twice, or I might have actually fat fingered it because his Presence of Mind is 2 and my Lily is on control 2. Whatever the case, it's kind of whatever. Could have been panic, but at least it wasn't as bad as whatever was happening to my Black Mage over here.
Oh shit, wait, why am I not? Yo, my rewind is not in the correct spot! I was standing right there, guys. I was standing right there. Did I walk out Did I walk out early again? Oh shit, my game is broken. Shit. I have no dark material! Dude, somebody repair for me! Who can repair? Who can repair? Oh shit! Yo, mama, do you have repair?
What is this?
Anyways, phase 5. Not a whole lot to say. There's not a whole lot of damage. You use your...
Gaia?
Pretty much the only thing to keep an eye out is her Fulgent Blade. You're down a 10% compared to Astro, so I would recommend using Benison's plus Aqua Veil on the squishies for each Fulgent Blade cast. Since it will be a little sus. It's already kind of sus with Astro's 10%, but it's doubly sus with White Mage without that 10%. So single target mitts, really good. Next thing to look out for is polarizing strikes, which is pretty much the only source of actual damage in this phase. You want to use your Temperance a little bit early, since 2-minute cooldowns need to be pre-popped in order for it to be up for the second set of polarizing strikes. Technically have a flex Lily Bell. I use it for the second polarizing strikes, because that's what the mitt sheet says, baby. Anyways, use your lilies wherever you need to. You can use them for movement, you can use them for healing. Try not to look them over cap. Try to have a blood lily up for your raid buffs. You can't. It's not the end of the world.
We're not going to disappear.
We're too stubborn for that.
During polarizing strikes, you can use them both as a movement tool and an AoE healing tool, which is really nice. So I'd recommend saving at least 1 or 2 heal lilies for polarizing strikes. Oh yeah, and if you're new to progging P5, polarizing strikes is really brutal to hardcast. I would say don't try to greed cast here. You will probably die if you're still not competent in the timings and snapshot.
We'll get through this, Reen.
Yes, together. This cacophony.
After Pandora's Box is a good time for Confession, because you need to top your party up for the next polarizing, or use Asylum and just heal. And yeah, that's the phase. This was actually a C for 1. Nothing like alt job practice in a C for 1. Am I right, my fellow griefers?
Our friend won't fail us.
You'd better not, or I'll never let you hear the end of it.
When next I
Wow,
return,
Warrior
I will
Warrior did some pretty sus movement there. The Black Mage also didn't catch the stack there, so by all accounts, I think we probably deserved to wipe there. Whatever, we take those. I would not recommend dashing for towers, since being a dash with a set distance is a little sus when there's proximity based mechanics happening. Anyways, polarizing strikes 2. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is I used my Temperance a little too early here. You want to use it after the first polarizing strike hit. This makes it so Temperance lasts until the third Fulgent Blade cast. So keep that in mind. You can optionally save your Temperance Shield all the way to the third Fulgent Blade cast. That would make up for the 10% on CU. But that means, of course, you're gonna miss out on the shield and regen during polarizing strikes. It's up to you. You should have release for polarizing strikes anyways. Other than that, pump.
Let our prayers be heard.
Yeah, White Mage is still good.
If this place cannot be our utopia, then naught in existence holds meaning.
That's a little melodramatic, don't you think?
You can weather this. I know you can.
Wow, that was a really close clear. Hope you found this at least somewhat useful. White Mage, not an extremely technical job, doesn't really require much, doesn't require as much planning or execution as Astro does, but that's not a bad thing. So, thanks for watching, and if you're progging, good luck on your clear. Oh yeah, and subscribe because the White Mage guy, that 2 people basketball is coming out soon.